Good afternoon. This is Chris, and I'm sorry we had a technical difficulties with our prior broadcast, but we're back and ready. And I'm here to introduce somebody that does video photographics, and his name is Mike from Lightworks ATG. And this is Mike right here. And could you introduce yourself
Yeah,
to
of
everybody?
course. First, thanks for having me, Chris. My name is Mike.
Not a problem.
My business is Lightworks ATG, and I make small business look good on the internet. And that's done with some pretty nice camera equipment and some planning from business owners. I make small business look like much larger business.
Good.
So I want to thank you for having me on again. This is actually a really
Absolutely.
good opportunity because when I saw that you were putting on this podcast and that you were live streaming it, I noticed that this is right into that social content marketing realm that a lot of small business owners really want to get into. And anybody who follows somebody like Gary Vee will know that you really only have two options. Either you employ people yourself to create your content or your video for your website, or you find someone that's going to do it for you. So I figured I'd lower the barrier to entry for a lot of small businesses and just give them that at a low risk.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like as a small business, we need more people like you to help our businesses get that visual, that good visual image of us.
Of course.
Now, of course, we could do it ourselves, but in the hecticness of running a small business, we don't have the equipment unless you're going to, invest in that. And then, so you come in very good as a good niche. And working as a small business for over 20 years, I've seen it evolve. Like I remember, and we're around the same age, I believe, and we grew up during the same era. I remember, big billboards and flyers in the mailbox. And then, we got introduced to internet.
Sure.
And that just changed everything. But it didn't change it super fast. But I believe big corporations seen the opportunity.
Of course.
Small businesses were last to really take advantage of the internet. And today we have such a mumble jumble of algorithms. And today is the year or the time for content. Content is huge.
Absolutely. So there is a small community relatively compared to the amount of businesses out there who are trying to do things like this. Of the ones that are trying to do it, some are winning and some are losing. And that's okay. The fact that they're trying makes sense. But if you think about what you're putting your effort into when it comes to marketing being different than advertising, not just throwing things out that people will look at, but planning what you want people to see and having people view it the way you want it to be viewed. You can do it yourself and put it on a billboard. You can have somebody put it in the newspaper for you. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, and they all still exist. They all still have their place. But as a small business, you have free platforms, or how many, I don't know how many we're broadcasting on right now.
I think we're on about 4 right now.
You can achieve this, and you don't necessarily have to be alone when you do it. You can hire someone like Lightworks ATG to produce this type of thing, to get you the video content that you need, shot in 4K, put on in 1080 for most platforms, or 4K if necessary, video for your website, short form content. All these things now run the internet. It will continue to increase in that manner. It'll probably move into other venues like AR and VR and things to that effect.
Oh, definitely.
But Lightworks ATG will put you in that place and help you maneuver that with all kinds of additional assets, including social media managers, editors, other video shooters. On my website, lightworksatg.com, you'll see my stuff all shot by me, all edited by me. But you will also have the ability to say, hey, I want to grow this a little bit more. I recommend starting small for any business. Shoot it with your cell phone to start. Figure it out. When you come to the same conclusions that Chris probably came to, that I came to, that you need something that's going to be a little more competitive. Understanding that there's math. You can put 1,000 of these little clips with your cell phone out and hope for the best. If you have a more premium offering or you want to show something a little bit higher end, you probably need a little bit of art behind it. There's going to have to be someone who makes something a little bit more creative. I work with small business owners to take their narrative, tell their story in as many ways they want to tell it, and put it on the internet in video format, professionally shot and edited, without having to hire a full-time employee.
And let me ask you a question, Mike. I believe that people use their eyes to shop. They see,
Absolutely.
it's like seeing a vehicle that's much older, beat up. and then seeing a brand new vehicle, once they see it in person, So I
Sure.
feel like people shop with their eyes and they see good quality video and they're like, wow, this was shot very well. Who did this?
Right.
Like, I believe that helps people know that this is a business that cares. They're a local business and they're investing their money into making their business look very professional.
Right.
So it helps you rank better, believe it or not. I believe businesses have to understand that. A lot of times I've seen stuff that I'm shopping for and I'll research the small company. Obviously, we have Google reviews and all the research tools at our disposal. But when you see certain content and it doesn't match and it doesn't look good, sometimes it is a turnoff. And the best quality videos, and Mike did mention, start first with your phones. But I personally, in the business of small businesses, the better the quality, the better the ROI on the business. People respond to it better. It's just, and the more navigatable the pictures are, where it shows you the true picture. It's not just hecticness of craziness. And you bring that to the table, especially for businesses now and today. Businesses, small businesses, and people in general, they're not working 8 hours. They're working 14 hours, 12 hours a day. And this may not be in their budget to do themselves. It is a much more affordable way. I've done it all. And I'm going to tell you, I've done billboards. I've put billboards inside ShopRites that cost over $40,000 a year and did not get one phone call. And it was just a piece of plastic with a paper right out of my business. And it's like they copied it off of a printer. And I stopped that. I didn't pay for the rest. I had a meeting with the advertisers. And I told them, this is not fair. You're charging so much money for visibility, and you promised that the thing was going to look great, is going to get a lot of visibility, and it didn't. As soon as I went through that experience, I said, the internet is where your marketing bucks should go to. Your marketing dollars to get good publicity should go to guys like Mike and his company. His company provides that quality. If you're going to spend thousands and tens of thousands and advertisement that does not work, it's a waste of money. It's just not worth it. And this is way more affordable.
You're absolutely right. If you think about the two ways that we're referring to, one, hiring someone that you bring on full time, paying their benefits, paying their unemployment insurance, paying them a salary, workers' comp, figuring out what that's going to total for the year in addition to their salary, and then having the risk of them not being able to complete all the things you need. You might hire a social media manager, and they will probably do a very good job at managing social media, but they are a video production company.
Yes, I've seen this.
Hire someone to do video, but they're not a social media manager.
Yep, I've seen that too.
My company has the ability to grow and collapse as small or as large as you need. You need a social media manager? I got you covered. You need a video producer? I got you covered. You need somebody to take pictures? I got you covered. A lot of times, it's going to be me to start producing the video, and the business owner more often than not wants to control their narrative, and they should. But when you decide that, I kind of need more, I need more effort put behind the social media push. I can only produce so much information, and Mike can do all the video. I can create gigabytes and gigabytes of video clips.
So you could pretty much you could set up with a customer, like, let's say, a folder where they share all their content to you.
Have you seen my business already?
No, I'm a businessman, and I'm already putting it all together, and I'm listening very well to what you're saying.
Sure.
And you come off very smart of what you did. We had this talk before. Me and Mike talked before the actual interview, and just to get to know each other. And I already knew from talking to him, he knows what he's doing. And I didn't, I just,
good guess.
I don't think it was a guess. It's just knowing that you are the type of person that would utilize this, because it's the only way that you could do it really well,
That's right.
And that's the best way. And it's great that people could know the back of the story, behind the scenes of what Mike does. It's not just, hey, let me take photographs and videos. No, there's actually a process behind it. And it's great and convenient. You could just send photos straight to his folder. He'll take those photos and make sense of them. And your business will get those photos back, and you can utilize that onto your Facebook, onto your website. It could be shared in good quality video. Now, my thing is this. Have you ever noticed that like hypothetic, well, I'll use it for myself here, the situation where I would record something and then share it. And then the more it was shared, the less the quality was on the video.
Yeah, it varies by platform. Having the expertise to understand what you're recording, how it's shot, and where it's going to go is important. Knowing that you're going to cut something for YouTube, which is one of the few platforms that's going to get your information on in 4K. Yes. There are others, but of your primary platforms, that's probably your top tier 4K footage.
Yes.
That same footage is not going to work on Instagram.
No.
It will. You can post it, but one, it's going to look different. It's going to be shot horizontally instead of vertically. And you're not going to get 4K at Instagram. They're going to downscale that way, way down. So I have the ability to either crop in appropriately, or there's plenty of times when I get customers like, hey, I just want short form media. I just want it shot vertically. And I'll shoot it all in 4K vertical, still downscale 10. And you've seen the footage. It looks way better than anything is going to be able to, anyone else is producing with a cell phone or something that's been shared in an inappropriate way where it's automatically downscaled. And you put it on Instagram or on Facebook and it just doesn't look like it's the same quality. Got you covered. Reduce the risk and things like that. All those things amount to what you require of any business endeavor or employee, which is just professionalism. It's understanding that you're going to trade your time for money to get what you want. And the professionalism, the trust and the skill to get you what you need. Trust is the big part. There's plenty of people with skill.
Oh, man.
Look at all the professions out there.
Yes.
That you consider top tier, your firefighters, your policemen. When you do not trust them, they lose what you would consider professionalism. Mm-hmm. They have a skill that you can't complete. You can't walk around with a gun and just police your own town, which is why you can't be a police officer. You're not going to go buy a fire truck and start fighting fires. You need to trust those people to do their job, and they do a skill that you can't do yourself. Doctor, nurse, they're all the same. Video production, while it's not a necessity for some things, requires the same level of professionalism. You have to trust that you're going to get the product you want, and you're going to trade your time for money to get it.
Oh, man, you made such a valuable point right there. And I want to break that down. I want to summarize that with my own experience. Man, this happened to me at least twice already, where I was looking for a particular service and getting content. And this was years ago. And you would think okay, this person comes in and he talks the talk. Mm-hmm. I know how to use this program. I utilize this and I have this. And you're like, okay, this is like a mechanic. You bring your car. You may not know everything about mechanic work, but you trust the mechanic, but then you get the car back worse or with the same problem.
Right.
And I
solid guess, mechanic. I appreciate your guess at that work.
Thank you for that guesstimating that for me. And I trust you. And that's where the loyalty does fall into, or the being a reputable, honest company. Right. And I'm telling people, you have to do your research and you have to see who knows their thing and look at their past content and just study it, because I've had a person do this and paid them, and the quality was horrible, to say the least. And there was so many excuses behind it. So you're giving out a very solid point,
Sure. This is some good advice for anybody. If you want to see and test for yourself, of course, you can see my website, lightworksatg.com. But if you look at all the social media platforms I'm on, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook to a limited amount, and moving along as we go, you can see the things and tell that is different than what some people do. I don't shoot real estate footage quite often for real estate agents because they want it quickly. I'm not going to turn it around in 5 minutes. I might take 10 minutes or a day. But if you look at the real estate footage, I've got one real estate video, and I'll guarantee you it's better than most of the real estate footage you see.
Yeah,
absolutely. But that's shot for a builder and an interior designer who are looking for portfolio pieces.
That's a shame. That is a shame, because I look at I'll look at real estate, and that's the first thing you see. That's the first line of imagery you're going to see before you waste your time and go look at the house. And it's not exactly, because I work with photos on a regular basis with junk removal. People might send a photo of what they have that's in a pile. Well, angles work differently. You get somebody as a professional that could take photos on every angle and make sure you get the shot that tells you the actual story of the image.
Right. The story isn't the junk. The story is the work you do.
Or how much is there.
Right. And you're looking to achieve an end state for a customer. You're providing a service to them. When you want a video for your business, you don't want the pile of junk. You want the service you provided, which is the removal of it, showing your people, taking the thing from where it is, taking it, getting rid of it, and showing a completed project. People aren't hiring you for the pile. They're hiring you to make it disappear.
Yes.
They're not hiring you for any of the equipment. What they want is the feeling and the product that comes at the end. They're getting a service, but they're getting a product also. The service is me. The product is the thing they get in the end state.
This brings back a lot of memories, man. I had a carpet cleaning carpet cleaning business called Pro Cleaners NJ, a very popular locally owned, privately owned carpet cleaning business. And it was in the early 2000s. I started this company, and to get a commercial, we had cable boxes back then. We weren't using streaming, and it sounds so old when I say back then. This is just a few years ago.
Here goes the back in the day story.
And I hired, I don't know if you remember this company. Again, this was not long, Cable Vision.
Yep.
Which was Optimum at the time. Well, at the time I was using them. They were called Cable Vision, and I think their umbrella company was something else. Anyway, long story short, they had this program for small businesses that want to be seen in their local targeted market area.
Sounds familiar.
And I call them and say, hey, I want to make a commercial. They came out with this huge equipment on their shoulder, and it was just like this production, and it was just like, I was like, wow, we're doing something huge, and it was so much money. And now,
do you remember how much it was?
It was just for the commercial, and we used a customer's home, and I'll show you the commercial after the interview.
I can't wait.
Because I mean, it's nothing to brag of, but it's not bad for what we did.
Sure.
It showed a baby crawling. It showed me pulling up in the van, and somebody talking, narrating the commercial, quick one. And it cost, and we used the customer's actual location. They charged us $1,500 an hour to do
an hour.
Yes, and they did a lot of prepping, and
right.
So they were there for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours almost. So it was, they gave us a deal, and then to keep it on monthly, I don't remember precisely, but it was a good amount monthly. And if you remember, Cablevision, you would put on the cable box, and it would go straight to channel 12.
Yep.
Right. And to get your commercial on that channel, it was so much extra. So they would even bill you on what channels you're seen on. But today, it is totally different. You don't know the sacrifices, you young entrepreneurs, that we had to go through.
Don't date yourself.
But it moves so fast.
Sure.
And the technology is like one day change, and it's something else. And what we had to go through to get content was totally different than today. Yeah. But it's still great to have somebody that could narrate, and you could hire Mike and just say, I need you to complete these tasks, and that's it. You don't have to really worry about being there and micromanaging. It's just a way more convenient way. Like, you don't have to get somebody to work full time to get all your images and content. It's great just to share photos here.
So this goes a lot of different ways. This goes a lot of different ways. We were talking, as we just started discussing it before we started rolling, how it could go for your business, how it would go for somebody else's business. I've got two really good clients, one that I'm working with currently and another one that I'm starting in May. Lux Home Company down in Plainsboro. They got Princeton, how you look them up, but they're down in Forestville Village. That's a prime client. They do interior design, they do furniture, and they are starting a second business. Their other endeavor actually is partnered with a home builder. So this is a client that is small business, high revenue, especially selling design services. And they're just like that, where there's like, I need this product. I can hire a person. I'm not sure if that's going to get me what I want. And even if I hire that person, who knows how it's going to go in the end. Or I can have you come here once a month. We can shoot all the A-roll. For those who don't know, A-roll is like your primary footage, the talking head in your documentary. And then I will go and shoot all the B-roll separately without them. They'll just say, hey, listen, I've got these 5 properties. These are all finished products. We designed it. It's furnished. Can you go shoot them? The homeowner's going to meet you. Maybe you get some footage. Maybe they've agreed to it. And fill in all those things and produce the long form or short form media they want. The second one, Gracie Baja Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu down in North Princeton. He's got a completely different plan. which we fit into just the same. He's got his own social manager, and he's got some people to shoot some of his short form content. But his exact words yesterday were, I'm really looking for somebody to produce that top tier content on maybe like a monthly basis. So we'll be able to put out some short form, rapid fire, get a few short form videos out a day across a couple platforms. But then I would also like you to do either an additional narrative or contribute to that narrative with some top tier content to show the rest of our business or other things that I want to highlight. There are different ways of doing it. The business owner owns the narrative. They can put out what they want online. They're just going to look for some help. And now you can find it. Just go out and grab and say, hey, you know, I really would like some help producing all these things. Oh, can you grab some pictures? And for those who don't know, the A in ATG is air, because I'm a 107 pilot and I'm fully insured.
Wait, say that again. I don't want that to go over anybody's head. You're a pilot.
I'm a drone pilot.
You're a what?
I'm a drone pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'll put a drone
awesome.
over anything you want,
That's
as long
awesome.
as they're not in.
So you got certified to fly this certain drone because it goes up super high?
Any drone you buy right now, if it's got a camera on it, you're not really buying the drone. You're buying a camera.
Yes.
The camera is just not one you hold in your hand anymore. It's one that happens to fly.
Yeah. Is there FCC regulations now for some of these
FAA.
drones? FAA?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's the 107 certification. So I have a 107 myself.
Nice.
The business is insured so that my drones are covered.
Nice.
So I can
These are
shoot
nice
on the
drones.
ground, shoot in the air.
Good optics.
If there's a thing that you need, I can shoot it.
I like
typically.
that. The drone stuff is awesome. I want to get all three of my trucks driving down. We have done it simultaneously when they were going to a particular job and they needed all trucks or, you know, a couple of trucks. And we were using regular camera, but to have a drone flying just,
of course,
and just caption that whole, and I love the drone footage, and you could definitely tell now, you know, again, people understand the sacrifice that we went through with certain movies that they didn't have drones and they used helicopters. Today's movies, you know, in certain movies, there's drone footage being used here, and it's just awesome. And commercials are awesome now with these drones.
I'd say you'd be hard pressed to find modern footage that does not have a drone shot in there somewhere. My wife breaks my stones all the time when we're watching. Like, that's a drone shot.
Yeah, I do that. Oh my god!
Look at that cool shot.
Because you can tell. You can tell, man. Like, this is definitely not your average helicopter doing this.
Well, even in the Hollywood equipment, you know, they might spend $10,000 on a drone, or 20 grand, or whatever it is. You know, big cameras and stuff. Even at that, what does it cost you to put a helicopter up?
Yeah,
you know, so you might spend 10 grand just in fuel.
Yeah, that's insane. Drones have changed everything, and
much more accessible.
I love drones, man. Do you have a really what kind
Believe
of?
Believe it, I actually just sold one of my larger drones. It's just dated.
And what do you consider large?
I had a Phantom 4 Pro, the second version of
that.
How
big were we talking?
I mean, the overall footprint was larger than this computer.
Wow. And what was the like? How far can you go with it?
They go farther than you can see them. Like, farther legally, you can't even fly them as far as they will go.
But you're using a camera, right?
You have to have line of sight on it unless you're requesting a waiver.
And how you use? So you use landmarks and stuff like that to get it back?
I very rarely do I fly it. I don't fly at a line of sight. I don't request flights at a line of sight.
Okay.
And you figure on a clear day, like, you're seeing about 3 miles. Nice. But to fly a drone 3 miles away is a challenge.
I can imagine.
Yes, I don't recall a time when I've ever actually been able to fly a drone past about a mile and still see it. Personally, there's probably people out there with better vision than I have that can do it farther. But I mean, a mile's, that's a stretch. Yeah, and it's very rare that you're trying to get footage on something that's that.
So your footage is I know, because that you're more into, you know, capturing content, and you know, it's good to get that, you know, drone footage where you can see it, you can see the truck moving simultaneously, and that's what people really want. They want content of their businesses from the air, and you know, all, and just going around. I love the angles that the drones could produce for your business. I try to get the drone up with almost everything I do. That's cool. At least once, you know, get one drone shot. It always looks good. It's so always cool. A crowd pleaser. And when you add in the mix of shots between aerial, handheld, I'm usually shooting with 2 lenses. I've got a 50 millimeter that pretty much lives on my camera, the nice big aperture, and usually a wider lens to get a mix of shots. That's, if you check out some of your favorite videos, even YouTubers, when they're shooting, like the ones that you like to watch, I almost guarantee you're going to see like that mixture of aerial, handheld,
tight shots, wide shots, supporting footage on top of A-roll.
How long have you? I mean, you seem like you have an immense amount of skills with this. Like you have, acquired a good, like everything that you're saying is right on, man.
You're gonna like
How
the,
long
you're gonna like
have
the
you been
story.
doing this, man? This is a good. I would like to hear the story, man.
So my wife bought me a little stunt quad with a Pro RC controller for Christmas like years ago.
Wow.
I told her that I
cool.
wanted to start drone
I'm
racing.
gonna call my wife and say I want one racing too.
I wanted to try drone racing. Now, what it did was it taught me how to fly. It taught me all the flight dynamics, not assisted, completely unassisted, learning how to do the maneuvers. And then as I started pricing out how to build a stunt quad, I quickly realized like this is a total waste of money. It was
You came to that conclusion.
well, I got 2 kids.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. Sometimes
I can't
we have to shut it down sometimes.
Yeah, I can't sink $1,000 or more into
I know.
a racing drone. That's just
I hear you.
ridiculous.
I hear you. Maybe before the kids.
Yeah. So to add to that story, of course, we had a small camera up, like a point and shoot almost. We started taking pictures of kids, where most adult photographers will start taking pictures of their children. And I guess small digressions. I'm also a veteran, and on my last deployment.
Oh, and that's something I want everybody to also know, that Mike is a veteran.
I appreciate it.
In what branch?
Army.
In the Army.
So
And
this
I
is where
thank you for your service before we go any further.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I guess we're digressing, but it is a veteran-owned business. I do aerial imagery also, and video marketing for construction companies. I work with Pico International. But I've been trying to work with Patriot Shotcrete. I got a couple shoots in with them. We're still working on some stuff. I'd love to reconnect with them. And a couple local businesses, believe it or not, tree companies. Anybody who's in a contract.
Tree companies, I could see that. That would be, I would love to see it.
Anyone who might contract with a government entity can use a veteran-owned business as part of their bidding because they have a veteran requirement.
Yeah.
Having a marketing platform like mine, one, it can get you progress. If you've got a project that's going to go for 6 months, a year, having someone who can fly a drone and take handheld pictures and video can get you that progress.
Contractors out there and developers
and marketing material.
Yeah.
All of it's pertinent, and getting that veteran-owned business under there is going to help you outbid, because there are people who won't. And not to say that there's people who are trying to do the wrong thing, but there's plenty of people who aren't going to meet that requirement because they just can't find the person they need.
Yes.
So people are just throwing on somebody that they don't need, and those veterans aren't doing anything.
I see that all the time, man.
It happens. In any event, yeah. So on my last deployment, I took up photography.
Nice.
When I got back from the deployment,
awesome.
I started shooting for small business.
Really?
I started with a car company, German Motors in Wayne, for anybody who knows them. I had a car that I brought there, and I was like, hey, listen, I'd love to shoot. He had like some Ferraris and some, he had all kinds of cool cars there. I'm like,
was this?
This is years ago. This is 20, end of 19, early 20.
Okay.
And he was like, well, I need a photographer. So I started testing it out. And this is good for any entrepreneur to understand like how market testing works. That was the ultimate market test. I was just giving him photos. It's like, I just want to be here to do this for a company and see how it goes. I'd love to be able to pay for my equipment one day. As I started shooting more photos, he's like, well, I need some drone shots. And at the time I wasn't licensed. So like, well, let me go get my 107 cert. He goes, all right, well, now I got drone shots and I got photos. Can you make me videos? Now I'm just going to where the market is,
Nice.
If you're starting a business, you can try and force people into your solution or maneuver your solution into their problem.
Yes.
And when the second business owner, my second customer to pay like a significant amount of money was a tree company. He's like, can you fly a drone? Can you take video? Can you make a video for my business? Can you give me, like, all the same questions started coming up again. Well, of course, now I'd already come to those conclusions with another business. Now I got my second business just asking like, hey, can you do it? So then I did it for the tree company. Then I started testing out where else can I do this? And the way to do it really was like a free to fee scenario. I would go to businesses and just offer it. Just say, hey, listen, I'm going to make you a video. Some people will argue you should never give the stuff away.
Yeah.
But I disagree.
Yeah.
And I found a way to kind of work through that process. What I did was I would offer them short form video.
Very smart.
Because everybody wants a short form video for social. And I was like, let me make what I want. I want to build my portfolio. Let me make something awesome. And what I found from that was a lot of businesses were like, well, what if I really want a video for this? So, well, honestly, like, that's my objective. My objective is for you to want something.
You're opening the door.
Yeah. But I'm going to make it at no risk. Let me make it. Now that doesn't stand, if you're going to, you by all means call me today, but I'm not going to give away video all the time. I still do it for people who have a really good story. I'm working with a guy down in the Philly area who does like a sartorial brand building for individuals, like professionals. And I told him, I was like, listen, dude, I love your story. I'd love to come shoot. But for companies like that, where they're like, well, what if I really want it? And then I realized if I just go with the camera in hand and say, hey, listen, I'm going to make you something. If there's something you want, just tell me. Business owners oftentimes would be like, well, actually, I had 4 videos in mind, or I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do. Please help me make that. The second place I offered that to, same exact pitch. It was CrossFit Nassau over Route 1 in Princeton. The guy's name is Justin Dorn. I walked in and said, I understand that this is going to sound crazy. I'm a 40-year-old man. I've got this video production company that I just put together. I'd love to shoot some video here. I'm like a kid on Christmas. He's like, wow, that sounds amazing. What's the catch?
We had it at 12 years old.
Yeah, right.
Got him at 40.
Yeah. He goes, what's the catch? I said, well, there isn't a catch. If you want it, you just pay for it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make what I want.
That's really good, man.
And if you want it, then you just pay for it.
Really
and
smart.
I'm upfront. I'm not
cool.
going to put it out here, but if you want to know what the rates are, of course, they're going to vary depending on the size of the project.
Yes.
But he was like,
obvious.
He goes like, he goes, I have X amount of video I want completed for my website. This is where it gets really good. The business really turned on that job because he had a sample video that he wanted to mirror that was provided by some CrossFit company. So he said, can you make an organic version of this with me instead of that person that I got this video from this vendor. I recreated the video with him, his own footage, his own narrative, his own place. And he actually A/B tested his video that he purchased from me and the video that he got from them. And the video that I shot for him that was kind of like a mirror of the other one did 80% better in A/B testing for client leads. Good. Organic content shot professionally against somebody else's stuff.
Organic content, what helps you rank.
Exactly. And that I understand, like, emotion drives our decisions. It's not logic. But that was a little bit of both. You know, he even said, he's like, I had a moment there when I put this thing up and I didn't know what I was going to do. And it started getting some feedback. And I was like, oh, man, I don't know, did I waste the money on this video? But he goes, after about 60 days, it was at like an 80% increase in click rate where people are actually signing up for the service. And that's what you want. You want name recognition. I want this, Mike. I want you to tell me, does this make sense to you? Since you're in this type of business also of a service, I believe that you can have, like you said, like all the skills in the world. Like I could be we could be the best junk removal company. We offer the biggest trucks, the best affordable rates. We started it from the ground up. We are not a franchise, and most businesses that get into this type of business, they need some sort of guideline to help them because they don't know how to get the fabrications on the truck, the paperwork, and so they go through like this already made business. I call it a pre-made business that they have to still answer to somebody else and kick up all these fees. My thing is this: they're scared because they can't create the fame or the popularity. Now, does popularity and good quality service, you have all those things, but what about popularity? Does that count for your business? Obviously, you want popularity. You want people to know you, name recognition. Sure. I think we're kind of referring to some different stuff here when you talk about modern marketing. You talk about social or strategic content marketing versus just being popular. People really don't care about what thing gets them the answer. They want the answer. If it's you, they will then come to you for a very long time. If you give them the right answer, the thing they're looking for, they realize this is the guy who's got what I'm looking for, then guess what? You're it, right? How many people want to just keep fighting to find somebody else? Think of any service that you've paid for where you didn't get what you wanted. If it was a contractor, when you find the contractor, let's say it's a home contractor or somebody like that, when you find the guy who does what you want, even if he's a little bit more expensive, there's a significant chance you're just going to stick with it. What social media brings you in that marketing capability is the opportunity to get social proof from other people who are engaging in those interactions on social media based on the video content you provided and seeing what other people say. This is a really good one. I walked into Jersey Fine Wines during Thanksgiving time, and I was like, I'm looking for sangria. They had no social media presence. I told the owner directly, you know, you probably could use some content marketing here. Had I known that, one, this is what you were offering and that you knew what that you had what I was looking for, I wouldn't have had to search anymore. I could have just gone on my phone, right in my pocket. The thing that I wanted was just sitting there the whole time. And when I looked for like local places to get what I wanted, they could have had the answer to my sangria questions up front. Any business can do that now. You know, you don't have to put on a billboard that's got 3 words on it.
Yeah.
With cars driving by at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's that type of thing. Like the return you're going to see on that is, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, right?
It is.
It's going to be a bit of a challenge.
We've been down that road, like I said already. I grew up in a family that had small business, landscaping businesses, construction businesses. We're talking the early 80s, in the early 90s, where, oh man, we're giving out flyers to Saturday morning, and I would drive with an uncle and put in flyers in every box, and just every box of flyers. And we would get calls back. I mean, really good call. But then there was a certain time when that stopped, when the age of the internet came out and content downloading things just got better. Because we all know, like I said, we sacrificed a lot. When the internet first came out, images did not just pop right up. You know, you got to sit there for at least 20 minutes. So do we have a question?
We have a live question. As a veteran and an FAA certified drone pilot, how do you think your background and experience in the military have influenced your approach to video marketing and content creation?
Oof,
good question.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Who wrote that one? That sounds like somebody who knew me. I will tell you that the understanding that you are not there to fit your solution or fit other people's problems into your solution is really it. The structured approach the military provides you is unparalleled. The ability to analyze things and put them into a format that makes sense for you and for someone else is important. And what I learned pretty quickly is no one wants to go online and just see someone peddling stuff at them. Buy my service. Buy my service. Hey, I've got a service. Do you want to buy it?
Too much.
Here's a discount. Yeah, it's when you go into a group, a forum, or anywhere that has something you're looking for, and you see people just like buy, that becomes noise immediately. The ability to find someone's problem, determine that there's a solution to their problem, and help them get to that without forcing them through it. Like, just tell me, we could talk after this. Tell me what problems you have online with marketing. Let's come to a solution and then structure it. That's actually led me to a lot of interactions, which you would call real life networking, not social networking. I'm now networked with businesses all over the place because I just talk to the owners and just ask, like, what can I help you with? And then offer solutions. Hey, let me help you solve that problem. In fact, once you've told me what the problem is and you have some ideas of what you want the solution to look like, I'll tell you what, give me 48 hours and I'm going to have some solutions in your inbox. There isn't a business owner on the planet that doesn't appreciate something. Even if they never look at it, the fact that you went through the effort and took the time to do that, that's totally a military mindset. That is a service-based approach. And that's the way the military does everything. You know, you don't work for yourself. You're not a self-licking lollipop. You're there for everyone else. The team works because you're there for everyone else. And if, as a business owner, if I'm there for them versus there just to get paid, people see through that. You see through it, and every business I've worked with to date. We were just looking at one of the videos, the early video for Gracie Baja. I told you I had not made any money from Gracie Baja, and that's okay. I went there just to shoot, and the first thing we do may come in another 60 days. I shot the video a year ago. That is absolutely fine. It's led to other opportunities. It's led to opportunities with them. It's led to opportunities with other businesses. That is the ultimate form of payback, is when you can grow that and have clients who respect what you do and want to call you to be like, hey man, can you help me out with this thing? Well, heck yeah. That's why I'm here.
I love that approach, man, because it takes somebody with patience. It takes somebody with diligence that understands that. You have people, and you know, I've seen it over my years that I want to start a business. I want to start my own business, but the comprehension of how this business works, whatever particular business, is exactly what you just said. Sometimes you have to give. You have to give to receive. And that is the ultimate sacrifice of an entrepreneur. That is a very valuable lesson right there. I don't know if I could have said it any better than what you just said, like how you utilize giving or doing something and knowing that, okay, this is not going to pay back right now, but this is going to somehow sooner or later down the road pay back. You know, it's like that mindset is what makes a real entrepreneur, because
Absolutely.
you understand that.
I didn't know at the time.
Are just instant gratification, not to cut you
No,
off,
it's
but
okay.
instant gratification.
Yes.
And that's just, sometimes it doesn't work exactly like that.
I didn't know at the time that that was market testing. I used the term earlier, free to fee, and that's something that you might hear in the video community. Is like, this is a service and a product that I can give away. I own the equipment. I'm not giving them the equipment. I'm making a thing. It's just an investment in my time. But to develop the business, that's a form of market testing. It's me just putting out the thing that I make and seeing who wants it. And when someone comes back and says, yes, absolutely, I do, and they pay you, and they're willing to pay you a lot of money, now you all right, I'm at that spot where I found smoke. Let's see where the fire is going to come up. It's just a form of market testing. You can do that with most business. You should market test. If you're trying to develop as you want to be a business owner, then I can't give you the answer to market testing, but you're going to have to dig in a little bit, because if you commit money and you just go down that rabbit hole to determine that, yeah, this is the business I want, you may shoehorn yourself into problems that don't exist. And now you've got this thing. This is your underwater basket weaving business. All right. Well, how many people want that?
That was funny, man.
Yeah. Army terminology. Yeah. Just army jokes.
Oh, that was good, man.
Yeah. Well, how many people want that?
When you said that, I was like, wait, is there an actual business like that?
So I've got a good example. A couple of editors that I'm networked with, some guys I have what I call junior editors, do some short form for me. We're working through the process together. I put it out to them. I put myself at risk and said, listen, I've got footage. I've got, a terabyte of footage that I would really like cut into more short form video. Wow. It's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. But I was like, I got plenty of stuff that clients would like to see. And because you want to edit and you'd like to develop your business, we have a mutually beneficial relationship. If I give you the footage, cut edits, I'll approve them, you post them. Just put my logo on it, give me the credit, and you can start growing your editing capabilities while I get more short form edits, because it's something that I don't have the time to do all the time. I'm trying to network with business owners like you in person. I can't sit at home and ut short form edits all the time.
And that's important, Mike. I really want to emphasize that, putting a face on your local business. Mm-hmm. Today, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but yes, technology is really turning up where you're better off seeing the actual people. A representative is going to get to the point where there's going to be a lot of artificial intelligence, bots, mm-hmm. and just, it's good to just see, okay, this is actually an owner, a representative of the business. You're actually getting a visual of that person and sure. hearing that person talk about the business. I think it gives people some ease that they're making a good decision right. based on seeing the person and knowing that person's coming out. Hey, this is who I am. This is what I can do. And I feel like that's a good step.
Relationship made. When the editor comes back and says, hey, listen, I think that the way this is going to work is going to be like this. And I say, I appreciate that you have that feedback, but who did you talk to figure that out? Have you spoken to any business owners that's going to want an editing service? Because last I checked, when you show up to a business, they're going to, well, how do I get the footage to make an edit? And then it became, oh, well, I guess I got to get a camera. And I think you're right. I think that what you're trying to do is duplicate what I'm doing, and I'm happy to help you. The editor lives in South Carolina, and I'm not like competitor. I think competition is welcome. I think the video production market for small business and short form and long form is so immense and so vast that there could be 100 people doing what I'm doing in my area, and it's still not competition.
There is a lot of competition. I'll give you that, but I would tell people, be careful, get a good quality, because there could be competition in anything. And as long as anybody could just put a name on something, say, hey, I'm a business, I got a contractor's license, whatever. But it's the quality that you really are paying for.
I'm looking to team up with anybody. Send me an email or a message or something like that, because I love talking to other video production capabilities. Anybody who's trying to do this as a freelancer, knowing who has the quality that I can go to for more work later. Because I would love to be able to be like, take those other video production.
Oh, they're out there.
Be like, all right, this guy can do it. I can't do it today. I could do it tomorrow, but this guy will do it right now, and I know he's gonna get it done correctly.
Nice.
It's hard to find.
Oh, we got a question?
Yes. What are some unique challenges and opportunities that come with using drone technology for capturing aerial imagery? How do you ensure safety and compliance with the FAA regulations during your shoots?
So I've got a series of applications that I use, and I can't remember all of them, but there are some really good apps. I think like Air Control is one of them. Of course, you know, the FAA's got their own Fly Before You or Before You Fly app. Whenever I know that I'm going to fly, and there was a string, especially when the warmer weather, I'm out there pretty much daily trying to get some drone footage in just to keep myself fresh. In order to do that, I'm checking these 24 hours in advance, and then again the morning of. I'm not waiting until it's time to go fly a drone to determine what airspace is available, what the restrictions are, what the weather is going to look like, what the airspeed is going to look like. The biggest hindrances that I have are going to be any airspace restrictions that may pop up. If there is a airspace restriction, usually like presidential flights, things like that, those might come up, and then wind speed, because drone footage is kind of ruined by excessive wind speed.
That is cool because you're doing a homework right there. You're doing homework
Right.
for the customer. The customer doesn't have to pick a location if not necessary. He might say, or she might say, hey, could you shoot it here? Could you shoot it in our parking lot? Could you shoot it? I guess it just depends on what it is, the location. Have you ever done indoor droning? Is there such a thing?
So there's no restrictions on flying indoors because you own the space.
Yeah.
This is not controlled by the FAA. So one of the videos that we can look at later, I actually flew the drone inside, and I tried it for a couple of local gyms. I only have one video where I actually use the footage.
That would actually be awesome. With
High ceilings are helpful,
ceilings,
and a lot of them have high ceilings.
Yeah, gyms should really consider that. I haven't seen too many drone footage gym commercials. I would like to see that.
Yeah, so most of my footage is still going to be handheld. Handheld or gimbal mounted, stabilized. I just like to throw the drone in there because it adds a different perspective. And in reality, that becomes like a boom shot or a jib shot where you're actually taking it and putting it up in a higher location and able to maneuver it in a space that you would not. Like I could do this with a ladder. I could bring a ladder everywhere I go and take my camera and get up on the ladder to get that shot. Or, you know, you can cheat a little bit, put a drone up indoors. Yeah, it makes for some interesting shots.
It definitely sounds like it, man.
And I remember, did we answer the question? I don't remember if we answered the whole thing. Like challenges? Yeah, I think,
Some unique challenges.
yeah, Central New Jersey, believe it or not, there are plenty of spaces you can fly. And I'm out of Princeton, so I don't see too many.
Over there.
Yeah, I do get requests from some companies who'll send me like, you know, by email or something like that, especially because I'm registered in some locations. They'll ask for something, and the first thing I do is check the airspace. What are the airspace restrictions wherever I'm going? And I think a lot of them are Philly, New York area, and you might end up with something like the president flying through, and that timing is always a trick, a little bit of a trick. When I did like the children's, I was going to fly a drone by like the children's hospital, and that became kind of tricky with people flying over. Of course, the president's flying over that area all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what do you, as far as, you know, trials and tribulations of what is the hardest part of doing business in New Jersey as far as for somebody like you? What are the challenges here?
Well, I don't know if any of the challenges that I'm facing are unique to New Jersey. I think that there was a couple challenges I found early, networking being the biggest one, and going to businesses is not something that a lot of people are looking to do. So I'll start with photography. Photography, there's still a high value on good photography, but to get into that space is a challenge. And when I started shooting photos, of course, a lot of photographers are like, I just want to shoot photos. Everybody thinks of real estate and they think of weddings. And those are two things that I learned pretty quickly I wasn't going to shoot. I don't have the time to shoot, like to compete with a real estate agent. And they're like, hey, I need you there Wednesday at 9 a.m. It's got to be then. You've got 30 minutes to shoot it. That's not something I want to fight through. Not that I can't, I just don't want to. And we were talking earlier, shooting a wedding. I'd love to get a wedding or two in my portfolio. I got a couple of people I want to work with to accomplish that. We can shoot some pretty high quality content. Why not try a wedding out? But it's not something that I want to do all year long. There are some very successful people who shoot weddings. They're shooting every weekend from spring to fall.
Yeah.
God bless them. God bless them for doing it. I think that's commendable, and they produce some really amazing products.
Your demographic of marketing, as far as who you are really pitching this, is for small businesses, pretty much.
Yes.
I feel like that's a great niche because, again, small businesses, we need this type of marketing. Content, as we all know it, and this is nothing new to nobody. We know short reels. We know Meta platforms has changed their guidelines when it comes to small. And again, this is an live office, so don't mind the phone. But yes, of course. Like, and content is taking over. Like, content
Sure.
is already taken over. We used to watch long videos,
Mhm.
and now the age of the short video just going through, and Mike will pop up something that you're interested in, and or your business will pop up, and exactly somebody's interested in that business, like, oh, I need that service, and it's good quality service of
Sure.
a video.
If you want to talk about some good references, like Gary Vee's was it jab, 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 left hook. I think he's working on the second one, right hook. I don't remember which one came first, which one's coming second, but I know that he talks about curating your content, putting it in the places where it really needs to be, short form, leading with short form, and not doing it as an ask. Just like we were talking about earlier, it's always buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. If everything you do as a business owner on social media is just like buy my stuff, that is just noise. People are only going to do it if they're actually looking for your stuff. But if you want to grow a community and you're just posting valuable information that looks really nice, people will go there to actually observe it, to be entertained or informed. And that's what your goal is. Even as Junk Doctors NJ, like, you want to inform customers about what you do. They see how you do it. They get value in the content you provide in some fashion. If you're just saying buy my service, it's not going to work.
No.
That will lead you back to long form content.
Yeah.
Your top tier content, if you curate your short form correctly, can lead to long form, where people are actually going there to sit and watch the thing you're producing and gain more value from it. That kind of stuff can lead to your website. There's all kinds of opportunities with that.
There's another phone out there if you guys need it. Yeah, so we're in a live office.
Yep. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, so this is small businesses, guys. You know, we have phones ringing, and this is what Junk Doctors NJ provides. It's just a place to come and sit down and talk, even in the middle of us doing work and working. We're always working. Mike is working right now. We're always working, promoting, networking, getting a light on small businesses. I mean, you don't understand. Some people don't understand how great it is to go with a business that's from your state that really cares about you, instead of going with a generic franchise that is a big corporation where they only think about the bottom line. Is always profit motivating, maximizing profit. With us, and even talking to you, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like I'm providing a good quality service at an affordable rate, better than a lot of these other formats of providing marketing material. And I believe that the more people that come up and the more united we become as small businesses to help each other out, because I would definitely recommend you, probably use you one day, you know? I mean, it's always great to know somebody that could do this. And you may see us one day with some great drone footage. That's what I'm actually really interested in.
Yeah, we can make something really cool. Any business can use it. It's just a matter of how. It's not a matter of if. Like I said, tree companies, interior design, gyms, junk removal. And there's I've got a horse farm. I've actually shooted several farms, and we're coming to farm season. If you're a farm owner and you're looking to do some marketing, that's actually a perfect niche. I actually tried linking up with 2 farm owners last year. They were like, well, our season for like selling pumpkins or selling flowers is only here. Do I really need a full marketing crew?
Yeah, really.
Do I need to hire an entire crew? I was like, no, well, you don't actually. I've got a social manager, I got an editor, and then I could shoot it all myself. So we can turn out a higher rate of video production at higher quality for a short period of time, call it 6 months.
So are you the owner of the company?
Yes.
And you have a team of guys underneath you that work with you?
They're actually contracted. So
nice.
Everything that you see on my website right now is mine. I've shot it all, I've edited it all, but I'm contracted with other people they have these skills. And there isn't anyone that I'm contracted with who doesn't produce video or has not produced video on their own, but they moved on to other places. I've got a professional social media manager. Her name's Jackie Robinson, not related to a baseball player, but she's down in South Jersey. Absolutely stellar. I got a couple videographers, a couple editors. They all do fantastic work.
Nice. And
they all have experience in video. So there's no need for you to have to decide. You can have it both ways. Like that farm example where, all right, well, I want to be able to produce content, let's say from March to the end of the summer, but then I don't want to have somebody that I'm paying to do something else. Am I going to take a guy who operates a tractor to do this, or can I just hire someone to produce it the way I want it and get me the product that I want and then be done with it? That's an opportunity that I'm going to give you.
Yeah, and I see it, and I see a lot of businesses that could really like benefit from this.
Sure.
Like even us, man. Like I think a lot of businesses that are contractors, landscaping businesses that I mean, there's so much, man, that you offer. I mean, just hearing all the different things that you bring to the table is really cool, man.
I shot
and
for
you don't have to have somebody working for you.
I shot
You
for a horse farm at the end of last
subcontract.
year. Another great example. Probably one of the coolest things I've done. Being able to shoot for a horse farm. There, I'm on a back
That
of
is
a
nice.
gator
That must
rider.
have been
It was
beautiful.
pretty cool. Yeah. It's the possibilities really are limitless.
That is cool. And what was one of your favorite shots? Was that one of the
Well, they're really
top-
they're all dynamic,
Really?
So I actually got to use I actually put a medium telephoto on here and sat on the back of a gator, and having someone riding a horse alongside the gator or behind the gator, I got some really cool shots out of it.
That is so
It was nice to be
cool.
able to do that and spend the day there.
That is awesome.
And they were cool people. We drank a beer when we were done.
And that's good. and you get to meet new people, and
Yeah.
in this business also word of mouth is great.
Mhm.
But again, getting good visuals, getting good, content that's the way to go. And that's how we get most of our work is directly from the internet, content related. I seen this, I seen that.
Yeah.
Good reviews, good quality, local. That's a big thing.
It might be really helpful for some of the people out there. If you're looking to build a website and you're considering video, for one, a lot of the professional web builders can tell you should probably start with video, not end with video. Don't build the website and then consider the video, because a video or any video work, any picture is a story. Any movie, YouTube video, they're all stories. Even the shorts, they're all stories. Every single one. The ones that you like have a narrative form or some type of story they follow. That type of thing will help a web developer create your website. And there was a home builder I was trying to work with last year, and I remember talking to their social media manager, and she's like, "Oh, I really want to build a website first." I couldn't convince her, like, you should probably shoot the video first. It just wasn't going to work. But they still don't have the website up. Get the video done. You'll have it. It's not like it's going to go bad. The video is not going to. It's not going to fall apart. The video is still going to exist. You can put it anywhere on the internet. You can then put it on your website when you're ready.
Question: what are some future trends or developments for you foresee in the fields of video marketing and aerial imagery? How is Lightworks ATG preparing for these changes?
Oh, that's a good one too. Aerial is a really tough one. That's like trying to predict where NFTs are going almost.
Yeah,
there's so much technology that involves aerial. In fact, I got on a call with Tree Swift is a company. They were doing like forest imaging. They were looking for veterans because veterans are good at picking up their gear and just going to a place for an extended period of time. Yeah. Go be in the forest for 2 weeks and fly a drone. I think they were doing like LiDAR mapping or something like that.
That's cool, man.
I don't anticipate myself going there. I don't see myself going, at least in this immediate time. I tried like photogrammetry, which is imagery for any commercial application, essentially making like a 3D model. I took that first spin with a couple farms, trying it for agriculture, tried it around a couple buildings. I could not find anyone in the immediate area that needed photogrammetry work, unless I'm missing. If you're there, you need photogrammetry.
Yeah, really.
I'd be happy to jump back, on that. But for me, it was all video based.
Yeah.
The drones are getting better.
Yes.
I'll probably make an upgrade. My next upgrade might last me 4 years, depending on, how that goes. I think in video in general, VR and AR are really where you're going to see something. Eventually, it's going to hook. I don't know where, but I think so. There's a lot of capabilities. They're talking about using VR and AR capabilities combined with like Oculus to do like surgery.
Yes.
You
Yes, I've seen this many times.
We don't know how that's going to permeate the rest of the industry, but it's going to happen eventually.
I think. Yeah.
And I know for like
same footing.
For the Canon cameras, they already make a VR lens for it. It's got like the double lens. I haven't purchased it because I haven't found out where I'm going to apply it yet. But when the day comes,
I'm sure you're going to be able to apply it. I mean,
when the day comes.
The what I see in the Meta platforms in the Oculus, when the first virtual reality thing came out, I was like, oh, okay, they need some more. A couple years later, I'm like, whoa, this is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And it's just getting better and better. We're in the time that technology's in a fast pace, accelerated.
Yeah.
And you know, with that said, Mike, you know, we had a great long conversation.
This is awesome.
And I'm so happy that you came up and shared your experience and what you do. And for one last time, please introduce your business to everybody.
Yeah, so that's Mike Cruz. The business is Lightworks ATG. It is listed as ATG. The ATG stands for air to ground. You can find it at www.lightworksatg.com. And I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn primarily right now. But for those who want to move to YouTube, short form, long form, by all means, reach out. I'd love to do some work.
Sounds great.
Thanks again for the opportunity. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. And anytime, man. You know, I always tell everybody that wants to come up here to share, come up whenever you want. And you know, we talk and we try to get as much information out to people, and just want to share with other people that we're here to help small businesses. Even though we're busy working, I don't care. This is always going to be a free service. If you want to bring up anything like a cup with your business name or anything that could take up space on here, I want to start doing that for everybody to always be represented, even when you're not here. And we want to build this for everybody that's on entrepreneurs, small businesses. Make some time to get up here, get on the podcast, represent your business. We're only going to grow together if we work together. And I'm going to recommend you whenever I have a chance. You know, I have your business cards. We have your videos. Your videos will always be posted on our website, and it's always going to stay up there. We repost and just keep it, you know, relevant. Like, you know, people to constantly see exposure of you. And again, thank you. And
thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming up, man. So I'm going to end this. My name is Christopher with Junk Doctors NJ, New Jersey's premier junk removal business. And if you need anything done, just give us a call. Look at our website, junkdoctors.nj.com. And you guys have a great day and keep on working hard. See you guys soon.